What an amazing day yesterday was. Highlights from yesterday are up. Previously on Kimba TV. 3, 2, 1, Bugatti money, let's go! Let's go! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The math is the math. Quit playing with me. Schwiggity, schwaggity. Easy money, Bugatti money. Gotta be testnet. Gotta be testnet. Gotta be testnet. The juice is the juice. Ladies and gentlemen, who be juicing? The plan really hasn't changed. We got 200-ish on the long scalp yesterday, so we'll give that away to you guys. And then if you missed it, the only real new thing that we did was the Eth long and the Eth BTC TA. Excuse me. My question would be, are you caught up on yesterday's highlights? Agza, are you caught up on yesterday's highlights? Were you here when we did the TA? So I don't know if you were here last night. So did you catch everything that we talked about last night? Yeah, so basically the low is questionable. It's not bad. But I don't know if that's going to hold. So there's a scenario of if it doesn't hold and if it does hold. So if it does hold, then it's going to clean those. It's going to try to clean all of that, just like we were waiting for yesterday. So if that low holds, those are probably going to get cleaned. So if that low doesn't hold, then probably like 64.5. Aisu Karimu says, Kimba, are you sick? Aisu Karimu, when you show up late to the stream, make sure you rewind. Exclamation YouTube, make sure you get caught up on the highlight. The plans don't really change from a day-to-day basis, really. Every day I have levels to the downside. Fibonacci. And we have levels to the upside. And all you're doing is if it goes down or if it goes up, we're looking at open interest, we're looking at edge, we're looking at edge, and we're deciding, is it worth shorting? Is it worth shorting? Is it worth longing? Is it worth longing? That's it. Alrighty, so make sure that you have your volume-based levels identified, make sure you have your time-based levels identified, and make sure you have your mathematical levels identified. Sazamanito says, do you have open position? Holy shit. Sazamanito, I stream every day for 12 to 16 hours. And I've been streaming for 2.5 years every day. Every single day's highlights is on the YouTube, including last night's, okay? It's not so much that I talk about everything. It's more that you guys ask me about everything, which means that usually days, hours, weeks ahead of time, we have already planned it out. So yes, I have been in this long for weeks now. Okay, I got filled live with you. Okay, we got filled live on this. Okay, I can see roughly who is watching, what percent of you guys is watching this. And I'm trying to hit the threshold before we start talking about the ETH. So let's get nasty. Make sure you are caught up, because the minute that I start talking about the TA and you're not watching, and you haven't watched this, you're going to get even more confused. What were you looking at in terms of ETH? Stop the music. basically like a trident or a resistance getting turned into support. So like just conceptually speaking, right? Like something like this would be bullish, right? Because the bearish scenario is it's a single print grab and go, and it's a bearish retest of the 7.5, and let's just keep making lowers or lower lows, right? I think that's actually a little bit more a higher probability by a small edge right now, actually, right? But we take it level by level, and we don't, we get Bugatti money with the thang. So it is quite interesting to see how much open interest it takes to push price down versus how much open interest it takes to push the price up. So we're just going to keep an eye on certain things. You know me, I'm a big level to level guy. So specifically for ETH, I keep going back and forth between the ETH BTC. So obviously ETH BTC needs to, on the smaller time frame, whether it's 4 or 1 hour or 2 hour, whatever, like this momentum has to be held, right? At least for me, I don't know about you. And then for ETH, that's where the single print and that's the low, right? So like I said with Biddy, the most obvious thing would be single print grab and go. A lot of people are probably going to try to maybe look for shorts there. I'll look at order flow and see that if that's what's happening. But if there's a penetration and then we turn that bitch into support, like rang, ding, ding, ding. So anyways, I would maybe, whether it's Bitcoin or ETH or whatever, like turning that 75786 or golden pocket or that level, might be nice. And then obviously we're trying to break those highs. So yeah, let's see. But it could just go ping, ping. Or getting the bearish retest on the RSI too. Pretty cool, right? How many of y'all were here last night, y'all? Shit. Listen, my voice is fucking gone. What do you guys think about all this? I mean, are there any questions? So, like, my whole thing started with identifying these levels, right? How many of y'all were here with me when I was patiently from all the way up here? How many of y'all were with me when this whole thing? Well, I'm waiting for this, waiting for this, waiting for this, waiting for this. How many? I mean, there were so many people that were like, hey, what about ETH? Hey, what about DOT? Hey, what about altcoins? I mean, that was the level, right? Don't be mad at me. So if you don't believe in that level as much as I do, you were never going to take or do anything with ETH in the first place anyways, right? So it starts with that. And then, through just like basic observation, obviously, like we saw earlier, pixel perfect, golden pocket, which also creates the 4-hour regular bull div. All right. So, I mean, okay, it starts there. Normal. Starting a regular bull div. A trend reversal sign, right? A regular div means that it's a trend reversal. A hidden div means that it's the original trend continuation. Anyways, so just that alone tells me, okay, maybe it's worth a shot to allocate more money to ETH. Because if ETH BTC is bullish, okay, then if Bitcoin wants to pump, ETH is going to pump harder. And if Bitcoin wants to dump, ETH is going to dump less. Sounds good? What y'all think about this? I mean, sometimes we can't, like, it's not about being right or wrong or like trying to predict the future. You know what I mean? There were a couple of short opportunities that I missed, but it doesn't matter. Like the edge is the edge. So whether you're more bearish leaning or bullish leaning, or it's easier for you to do one or the other, or your subconscious bias is one or the other. It's just about having enough edge to take your shot and then managing your risk. So you're the one that's in control of how much you're going to lose. So what y'all think? Pretty cool, right? So ETH BTC Alpeasy says, I just ordered pizza and breadsticks. That sounds fucking delicious. RG Bargy says, Kimba, can I ask what your risk was on ETH? You want to see it? Who wants to see it? Where's Tijuana ass lover? Where's Tijuana ass lover? And real quick, again, okay? You think I'm surprised? You think I'm surprised? And I don't care if you see me in a crazy long. It's your responsibility to understand that that is a pivot level that we're all watching, right? Everybody, we Gucci on this? You know, things take time, and it might not happen during the stream or when you want it or the way you want to, but the math is always the math. Where did that guy go, man? Anyways, so everybody is aware of this level, yes? How many people are thinking about shorting that? That's totally valid. I got to see the data. All right. So, RG Bargy, how big is your position? Alpeasy, how big is your position? How many people in a Bitcoin long or an ETH long? You know what? Fuck it. How many of y'all are in a Bitcoin short? And how many of y'all are in an ETH short? And how many of y'all are in a long or a short? What's your position size? Shout out your position size. I don't care if you're longing or shorting. I don't care if it's Shiba Inu, Pepe, or Bitcoin. What is your position size? Position size. What's your position size? Lions, talk to me. And real quick, Lions, I'm gonna put my thing on the 30-minute. Okay. What do you guys think is my entry? Real quick. Mo Guy says blue line. Mo Guy is the winner. 3470. Banana Man is also the winner. Bud Fox is also the winner. Where is Tijuana ass lover?
Not enough Latushi.
Quit playing with me. Where are you at? Okay, everybody is aware of this level, yes? Everybody is aware of this level, yes? I don't want anybody, no one's gonna freak out if it does this, yes? So now I'm gonna put my stop loss in profit, and let's do that right now. So let's do it at like 3474. They just did a refresh on the design. 3474. So you need to make sure that you are thinking about putting your stop loss in profit now. For me, since it broke that high, I have my thing protected now, especially since I'm going to be going to bed. Triple J says, where TP for ETH short? Sure. I mean, I would look for all of this, brother. I would bare minimum, Triple J, I would look for all that to get swept. So like I would probably start my TP around here. Yeah. Obviously you have a lot of single prints imbalances and like volume nodes, little like independent colonies of volume. So you might have a little like rest here and there, maybe another bearish retest. Yeah, those bad lows getting swept looks pretty nice. Triple J. And remember, Triple J, I would, ask you to look at volume, right? TPO based levels, mathematical based levels, imbalances like single prints or bad lows, clusters, right? My entry is 3878. Oh yeah, you're fine, Triple J. Good shit. Cage wins, you good? No Diabito says stop loss is set, brother. Perfect. Go to sleep. You can't lose. Worst case scenario, you wake up from your deep slumber and maybe you're mega juicing or maybe you're mid juicing, you know, maybe you're still in the game, you know. I do this a lot, but when I look at the unrealized P&L, for example, I cut that bitch in half. You know, this isn't 100 or this isn't 100 or 97K or 120K. Okay, this is 60. This is 50. Because there could be a, you know, weird ass golden pocket pullback, 786 pullback where I piss away 25%, 75%, 66%. Okay. I honestly don't really care too much about maximizing the profit. I honestly just want to do the right thing by the book. And I feel like I am maximizing the amount of money that I could possibly make by doing the mathematical thing, the statistical thing, the right thing. Not just staring at it going up and down and freaking out and just market closing just because. But because my bullish confluences got invalidated or because there is strong bearish confirmation. And if I'm right or wrong, I can always fall back on the reasons why I did what I did and I can adjust. So basically you want to try another shot before these get swept. That's valid. Yeah. Like that? How are you doing it? Like this? This low, right? Like this? And you're aiming for 7.5 maybe? Makes sense. I think that's what you're probably doing. And then of course the man with the big dick short is saying 2,600. Okay, yeah. So it's just a difference on opinion. You know what? I'll tell you. I bet though, LPZ, that's your last attempt, right? You would attempt one more to hold structure, and if it didn't, you're not going to try to long this. You're not going to try to long this. You're not going to try to long this. You're going to wait for that fucker though, right? And the reason why you do that freestyle, okay, is because you want to have different ranges. So you start to understand, okay, this is one cluster. And that's where the point of control is. This is one baby cluster, you know? So if you swing fail or fail auction and you pop and you turn that bitch into support, you have a high chance of rotating here. So this is easy. That's a quick little short squeeze. Okay, but if you watch the highlights, I actually talk about that. I talk about how, okay, well, if it fails, if it swings back in, then we can go all the way to the other side of the range. So there you go. Because the pocket in the volume is low. Yeah, something like that. But I think it's also good to just recognize, hey, that's a little bit of a cluster. Hey, that's a little bit of a cluster. Hey, that's a little bit of a cluster. So I think it's good to just have them identified so you can practice identifying them correctly. And then if you decide that, holy shit, I have a whole bunch of these things marked out, but it's way too many or they're too small, I don't need to do this many, then you can adjust. Token says, I have a strange question. Will the fibs on ETH BTC align with ETH USDT? No, they're completely different pairs. Sometimes when I wait for ETH BTC to hit the golden pocket, but ETH USDT has already ran. Yeah, they're completely different. So you do not want to try to mix and match. The TA on the things are two different. Consider them two different, completely different things. Because they kind of are. Claytown, ETH long at 3470. Beautiful. Where should stops be for tonight, tomorrow? Claytown, you're in the US, right? Are you going to be able to watch the charts or are you going to be going to sleep? If you're going to be going to sleep and you're not going to be able to watch and you're not going to be able to make a decision based off of data, then you need to put it at break even or tiny profit. So what I would do if I were you is I would take the whole swing high, swing low range, and you already know what it is. if you want to maximize profits, what does the math say that you should maybe start to shave out at? It's the 382. If you don't want to get stopped out, put your stop loss behind the 75786 or the 886. And that's if you don't want to get stopped out. But considering it made a higher high, it's supposed to make a higher low. Okay, so losing that would be pretty bad. So if you can afford it, I think actually putting your stop loss there would probably be the smartest thing to do. Make sense? You could make an argument that you could sweep those again. Oh, fuck, god damn it. But it's got to be a swing fail, and it's got to be quick, and it's got to come back. Okay. And to be honest, that should probably be some sort of bull div. So you might even be able to forecast something like this, where this is the continuation of the bull div like that. So you might be thinking to yourself, look, this is okay, but it has to bounce from there, and it's got to maintain this bull div, you know, something like that, like a conversion. Okay, what is this? That's a regular, right? If it bottoms out, so if it double bottoms right here, candle close, what is that? It's an exaggerated, right? And so that's a conversion. It's a regular into an exaggerated. But you would have to pink, pink, pink. So, you know, if you have the opportunity to be awake and watch this bitch, this is probably when losing this is when you probably get out of the long, if you can afford it. That would be a little bit better than just randomly letting a level, you know, getting lost or wicked through be your stop loss. If you're gonna go to sleep, you can never let that bitch go red. So you figure out what kind of Fibonacci retracement you would allow for. You know that the 382, the 05, and the golden pocket are all going to be interesting levels. Those are not the greatest lows. It's not that bad, but you know, doing that is possible too. All right, Claytown. So you've got it a couple different ways. You've got a edge loss, right? This is what I mean by some people are going to be looking for bullish confirmation or bullish invalidation, depending on if you want to get a short. Some people are going to be seeing this exact thing, but instead of them trying to long this, they want to short the loss and they want to short the bearish retest. You know? So maybe you don't want to short, but you see that and you're going to go, fuck that, I'm out of my long. So and that's just with RSI div, right? You could do the same thing with CVD, yes? And then obviously, like on a big move like that, if it would happen, open interest should tell you something if you should take that long or not. If you are in a long, what would be the open interest that you would want to see on this so that you know it's not bearish? Claytown. What open interest do you want to see to know that, hey, it might not be bearish? It might not be bearish. Open interest going down. There you go, RNK. So it's a little bit of a different story if this is going down and it's their fucking long opening shorts, yeah? That's because that's bearish. So now you might be thinking, oh, fuck, this bitch is going to get broken. And then it would, you know, extra bonus points if you can remember the last couple times where there was a already constructed bull div and it broke with open interest shorts powering through into it. So just right off the bat, Mogai, dude, losing 66.7 or whatever is going to be pretty concerning. Do you see what I see? Okay. You also see this, yes? Okay. You also see this, yes? And you also saw something similar on ETH when I was talking to Triple J about TPing on ETH, right? So Mogai, I've been saying this for quite some time, but the level where I would, add another 100 or 200 or 300 Bitcoin long would be the swing fail pattern of the 64.5, something like that. And, that's a zone. You got to be able to identify the volume. So you could have like a, $2,000 deviation to get that point of control, or value area high, or something like that. And on the bigger time frame, on the 4 hour, that wouldn't be anything weird, right? It wouldn't look that crazy because you have similar deviations out to the upside. So Mo Guy, are you a little bit more bullish leaning? Are you a little bit more bearish leaning? You're a little bit, neutral. Do you have any positions open right now? Based off of the position that you have right now, I can also kind of go over like your worst case scenario and just, cover that. So yeah, levels, you cannot lose. We already had a daily candle close below. So you cannot, you have to have today close above 67.2. You need it to just go right back in and have it be almost like a failed auction and come back in. And we have to have the daily close above 67.2. Alrighty. But for it to nuke, not even nuke, but have another $2,000 drop, $3,000 drop to like 64.5, 64, wouldn't surprise me one bit. So make sure you have the levels to the upside and downside identified. I'm a little bit bullish, but I want to hedge just in case. Entered a long at 664.30 today. Nice, brother. Yeah, so the lows are ass, right? You and I know that it's only a matter of time before it's going to get swept, right? The structure is that it's continuing to make lower highs and lower lows. So unless bulls can make a higher high on a mediocre or a respectable time frame, it's really, the bears are still in control, okay? We're front running a lot of shit if you're longing. So putting your stop loss in profit is pretty important. Tomorrow is Friday. Holy fuck. Quarterly options expirations. We got weekly options expirations. We got juice, just overall, just a whole bunch of juice in the fridge that's going to expire. So we're going to have to drink it all. Hey, you guys are the best. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay safe. Have a great night. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. I'll be here before, I'll be here pre-market. So, all right. Have a great night. Peace, everybody. Market makers, get nasty on them.